Elena comes to Street Fighter 6 in a few days, and with her being the last character of Season 2, she technically is the beginning of Season 3. And with the beginning of Season 3 comes battle changes. Like every year, I want to go over a few things that I think Juri should get to make her a more fun and consistent character. Disclaimer, I don't think she should get everything, but these are things that I would consider. Spoiler alert, it's kind of the same as last year. And if at any time you find value in this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. First things first, we got to talk about it. It's going to be fireballs. I don't want to spend too much time on this topic because I've talked about it a lot, but Juri is an outlier. She's the only character in the game that doesn't have something that goes through fireballs or something that clashes with fireballs. That is a grounded option, and that's super important. Every character in the game either has an OD fireball that can go through regular fireballs or at least clash with OD fireballs. These would be characters like Luke or JP, obviously Ryu, or even a character like Ken. Some characters can just go through fireballs like Bison's OD Psycho Crusher. Even a character like Blanca still can go underneath them with good results with his slide. If you look at the whole cast, everyone's got either a fireball, a move that can go through, or in some cases, even like supers that can go through them like his level 2. They might not be the most consistent options like Manon's OD Spin, but even they buff that to be more consistent. Even though they nerf Cammy's Spin Knuckle, she can still go through fireballs on her read, and she's still plus if she guesses wrong. I get it, there are characters that have to take a risk to go through, but they have something that's grounded. Juri does not meet any of these prerequisites. Because yeah, her Fuha can work technically, but from far away, if I go to Fuha, I can be punished. I can throw a fireball, which causes them to not be able to go through, but there are times when I'll go to throw, and I'll lose my store for doing it because it doesn't come out. Her OD fireball works the same way. And Juri does have dive kick, which means I can go over fireballs to punish them. But the reason why that's not the best idea is because sometimes when they drive rush, if I time it during the freeze, it actually will eat my up input. If you watch here, I'm going to hit up, and the up does not come out. That's because you can't buffer movement during a drive rush freeze, and you have to be holding up by the end of the freeze. So sometimes I'll do up forward into quarter circle back and get Fuha. And sometimes the freeze will screw up my timing for the perfect parry. Juri shouldn't be the only character in the game that is forced to rely on system mechanics only to get around this. And again, I can use a level 3 to get around the fireball. No other character in the game is reliant solely on level 3. This is all my resources. So Capcom should pick one of these things. Level 2, activation dash, could be fireball invul. This means if I'm quick to react, I can dash through this. This would take strict timing and cost 2 bars, so I think it would be a fair option. We can give Juri different angles for her dive kick based on the strength of input. A lot of the cast can cancel their fireball clashes into a level 3. For some reason, Juri's Fuha interacts with fireballs, but it's not a fireball, so it's not cancelable. They just need to change that. Even though her Fuhajin clashes with fireballs, it's for some reason not cancelable into a level 3. This, in my opinion, is an oversight. It doesn't happen often where you can clash at that range there, but if I could, I would be able to level 3 right through and then punish a fireball. If you don't want to do this, make a fireball clash on Fuhajin part of our quarter circle forward kick system. That way, when we clash with a fireball, we can cancel into one of our quarter circle forward kick attacks. And it would look something like her perfect parry into her quarter circle forward kick attacks. It would look something like that. It would be enough to disrupt Ryu's timing and maybe punish a fireball before he throws it. Now, I'm doing perfect parry. However, what I mean is off of this. If I could cancel this into a fireball. Kind of like, again, perfect parry. In Street Fighter V, her quarter circle forward attacks, like her Ankensatsu and Go-Osatsu, were marked as fireballs and clashed with fireballs. If that were the case, Juri could do stuff like this and eat the fireball and go through it. That said, her OD Go-Osatsu also would be able to go through fireballs. And if it clashed with fireballs, then she could go straight to her level 3. Juri, like very few of the cast, does not use all of her available move slots. Her quarter circle back doesn't give anything. You can always give her a move on quarter circle back punch, like Street Fighter V's Ryoden Satsu, which looks like Chun-Li's Hazanshu, or her V-Skill 1, which went through fireballs, or her V-Skill 2, which worked kind of like Guile's Sonic Blade, or even her parry from Street Fighter 4, which allowed her to absorb a hit and teleport either back, forward, or up. It doesn't matter what they give her, as long as they give her something that is in line in dealing with fireballs. I've gone on longer than I want to, so let's move on. One really frustrating aspect is that even though Juri's a rushdown character, she can't chain 3 light attacks. This is annoying because people could just walk out of pressure. The reality is that sometimes you can walk out of pressure and get a big punish on them for just trying to jab. You can always crouching medium kick to catch someone walking backwards. But there is a big gap in between there, and you're going to open yourself up to more damage. Whereas even a character like Ken, if I hold back, the third attack will still connect. Being able to hit that third jab is so important. And you would think in the corner it wouldn't work that way, but here we are. Let's talk hitboxes and hurtboxes for a second. Juri's standing medium kick is 2 hits, so it has 2 stages. First, this really close range, and then the really far range. Juri's standing medium punch is +2 on block, which means if Rashid will press a button right after, if I use a 5-frame move like standing light kick, he gets stuffed. Now, standing medium kick is also 5 frames. For an example, drive rush standing light punch is +2 as well. If I do drive rush standing light punch into medium kick, Rashid gets beat out. Standing medium punch and drive rush standing light punch are both +2 on block. So if this is +2 and I use a 5-frame, obviously this should beat the light punch. That's not the case. The same thing happens with the drive rush standing light punch. If I'm close, I win out. If I'm far, I get beat. That is because the first frame of standing medium kick hits really low. And if we look at how these two things interact, if we look here, this move comes out, and it's out before his attack is out. However, look how far back I am. And if I play the next frame, I get hit by it. This will be a tough ask because if I say buff this move so that it has more range, that would not go over too well. And it might be a little bit strong. This move is already really good. But if we look at the second active frame, we could try and adjust it so that it matches the second frame. This is the first frame. That's the second frame. You see how it moves a little bit? What we can try, if we look at how this interacts, we can maybe make the range a little bit higher so that it doesn't completely miss the hurt boxes of the other characters. This is Rashid's hurt box on the attack, and most light attacks have a really large hurt box before the move becomes active. And it goes really far horizontally, just not vertically. So let me stand on business. What we should do is increase the vertical range of this attack just a bit so that it covers situations like this, because this situation does not make sense. While we're on the topic of hurt boxes, let's take a look at Juri's standing hard punch. Juri's standing hard punch is really good. If we look here, it becomes active on this frame here. One thing that I don't like that they should adjust with a lot of Juri's moves is match frames 1 and 2 so that they're consistent. This is the first active frame of Juri's standing hard punch. If we go to frame 2, it moves a bit. There are combos where frame 1 should hit, but it's too far back. Frame 2 connects, but the window has closed on the combo. But I want to talk about the hurt box of this move. Once this move is no longer active, if we look at how long it lingers, watch the animation of Juri's leg as it comes back. 1, it grows, and that's fine. Good for whiff punishing for the opponent if I whiff this. But look what happens when she brings her foot back. It doesn't actually retract. It even lingers on the next frame. In my opinion, I think this is an error. This hurt box here should not be there, but her foot's all the way down here. There's still a really large hurt box here as well, but all of this can be hit. Even on the next frame, even as the top one retracts, look how much space is still left. And you might think that this is fair because every move should be whiff punishable, right? Take note also, this move is still in recovery. This move is on the 13th frame of recovery, and the move still has a lot to go. On this frame here, her foot's almost completely back on the ground, and this hurt box still lingers. I'm sorry, this is unacceptable. And still, the move still is in recovery. Juri is all the way back here. This move is still in recovery. If I'm correct, this move still has another 5 frames to go to recover. Yeah, look, 5 frames. This move is way too punishable on the back end for how strong the move is. Juri's standing hard punch is -5 on block. Ed, on the other hand, is -2. And it also only has 18 frames of recovery. But let's also look at the hurt box of his attack. It becomes active. It does move forward a bit, but it's also active for 5 frames. But let's look at it as it retracts. As it retracts, it does linger just a bit, but it matches the animation. To put it into perspective, this move lingered for a bit, but as his hand comes back, it matches almost frame by frame the animation, even disappears in some cases. On top of it, it has 6 frames less recovery than Juri. So yeah, they need to look at the recovery of this move. There's something not right about it. I think it's pretty clear that it shouldn't linger the way that it does there. And you can tell there's something goofy that's going on here because there's even like a little gap in between right here. It just feels like they didn't complete the work on this move. This is a jab, and even from like that range, you could be jabbed out of stuff. It's kind of goofy. I showed this off on stream the other day. At this range here, you're punishable. Like, look how far away I am. That's like insane. Talking more about hitboxes, let's look at crouching light kick. If we look at the first active frame of the crouching light kick versus the second, it actually moves forward. This is a utility button, and it shouldn't rock in this way because how can I be consistent if my moves aren't consistent? In my opinion, frames 1 versus 2 on some of her attacks should not rock the way they do. This is frame 1. That's frame 2. This is frame 1. That's frame 2. This is frame 1. That's frame 2. It's no shock to me that like her most consistent moves, like her standing medium punch, does not rock at all. Same thing for her crouching strong. We look, frame 1, frame 2, doesn't rock. Her forward strong, frame 1, frame 2, doesn't rock. Juri's punish counter hard kick is okay. You see, on punish counter, you can always do heavy DP, or you can link a level 1 or a level 2. Unfortunately, nothing else works here. Not even a level 3. Whereas a character like Ken, we could see the difference in conversion. At the very least, if it could be canceled on hit, kind of like other characters, that would work out as well. Something like this would reward the player a lot more for their good play. Speaking of reward, I don't know why this move is not plus on hit. In my opinion, we should be +4 on hit so that we can link into a light attack. None of Juri's heavy attacks are +4, which means she's forced to either use Drive Rush or use her Fuha stocks. And to be honest, I don't mind that. But I do think it's weird that I can use Heavy Punch and Kensatsu, Crouching Heavy Punch and Kensatsu, Forward Heavy Punch and Kensatsu, but when I use Back Heavy Punch and Kensatsu, that does not connect. Furthermore, any of her heavy attacks into a Feng Shui engine allows her to hit Forward Heavy Punch, but not her back hard kick. You're only +12 and you don't get the link. I don't think this is an unreasonable change. While we're on the topic of reward, in the corner I can do OD Go Osatsu into Enkensatsu, but mid-screen, that last hit whiffs. This sequence costs me 3 bars and a stock. I think I should be rewarded here. I do believe in the beta this combo did work, but I guess they thought it was too much damage? I don't know. I'm just a fan of if I use my stocks, I should be rewarded for using my stocks. Same thing goes for my stocked Saya show. I'm using a Fuha stock. I had to store it. Why am I -3? Making this -2 allows me to pressure while they're in burnout and get a throw or strike mix-up. And I know that her fireball is best used from far away to get more plus frames. There are times like here where I could be either -1 or +5 or +8. It's just so easy to be negative at this range. And the difference between something like this where I'm -1 versus here where I'm +5, it's a matter of pixels. Something more consistent that I can get a better reward off of my stock would be nice. And the same thing applies for my OD Saya show. In my opinion, I shouldn't be -2. Where's my +1, Capcom? And while we're talking about being minus because Juri doesn't have anything in her kit that's plus, the only thing that's plus in her kit is standing medium punch. And to be honest, look how far away we get put out. It's +2, of course, but like, we're out of range of throw. There's a lot of characters that are plus and much closer. If her fireball was plus, we'd be cooking. But not even like a properly spaced dive kick. That's -3. And if I'm correct, that's the best her dive kick could ever be. -3. I can aim as close as I can to his foot. -3. At least if you let me space the OD, give me some plus frames there. I'm begging. And her OD DP, we should get more advantage off of this OD DP. Being +5 at this range, we don't get anything off of that. If you look at Ken, when he hits his OD DP, even though we're far away, he's still +22. So even as a reversal, he can still maintain some pressure afterwards. Juri, on the other hand, only being +5, cannot do this. Yeah, and in the corner, I get it. You still can be +5, and that's fine. Ken, on the other hand, could DP, dash up, and still be +3 for a throw mix-up. And the last thing I want to talk about is Juri's overhead. Juri's overhead has only 2 active frames. And on hit, it's only +2. This means on the first active frame, I'm +2. And on the second active frame, I'm +3. No matter how meaty I hit this, I will never be +4, which won't allow me to link into a crouching light punch. And whereas a lot of the cast is +2 on hit, they also have 3 active frames. This would allow it to be +2, +3, +4 if it hits on the last active frame. Most characters in the game has an overhead. Most characters in the game have an overhead where they don't need the drive rush to combo off of it. If they hit their overhead meaty, they can combo into a light attack. Juri and Luke are two of the characters that are +2 and only 2 active frames. An easy way to fix this is to make it 3 active frames or make her overhead +3, which is even more egregious because even in level 2, if I combo into overhead, it knocks them down. Even if they're blocking, if I overhead, it knocks them down. So not only can Juri not get the meaty overhead and combo afterwards like everyone else, even when using her level 2, she still isn't awarded this. This is the same for if it's on hit or if it's on block. So give me one more active frame or allow me to combo while in Feng Shui Engine. And Feng Shui Engine. I think it's so insane that if I'm one hit away from getting that last bar of super gauge, that if I'm under the effects of Feng Shui Engine, it locks me out of meter build completely and I don't have access to the rest of that meter. It doesn't matter how long my combos are, I can never build that one last hit to unlock that last bit of super meter so I can close the round out. I think she should build some meter in Feng Shui Engine, but maybe at a reduced rate because it's kind of weird that I can't get anything to get that last super to close the round out. You know what? Let me swing for the fences and ask for the one thing that I think they would never give her, and that might be a little bit too strong, but hey, you know what? It's my video. I'm going to say it. Medium Punch is +7 on hit, and that sounds like a lot, but she doesn't have any 7-frame attacks. She's got 6-frame attacks, and she's got 8-frame attacks. So on counter hit, when she's +9, it really doesn't do much. Even though she does unlock Medium Punch to forward Medium Punch, both of these attacks do the same amount of damage, 600. So it doesn't matter if I do this combo or if I do this combo. Even though I'm +9 here, look how far away I am. The crouching heavy punch will not work. If I was closer, I could do this combo on counter hit. So I mean, what we can do is increase the range of crouching heavy punch so that combo works. Or what they can do instead is add one more frame of advantage. So now I'm +10. If I'm +10, that would allow me to do this combo here. This would open more combo routes on counter hit as I would be able to do things like that there. And instead of always doing this combo here, if I can confirm the counter hit, I can go into combos like this and get more damage on that reward. But like I said, I'm swinging for the fences. If I said make this +8 on hit always, people would lose their mind. But it's my video. And hey, you know what? Being able to do this combo naturally all the time, I'm with it. So that's my list of changes that I would like to see for Juri going into the next season. Again, I'm not asking for everything, but those are things that I would consider if I had the pencil and I can give Juri anything. And I don't think any of these things would make her too broken, but would be more fun and more rewarding for the player, especially for the mid-range players who struggle getting value in places where other characters would get value. I know Juri is really annoying to fight against because I play a lot of Juris. Sometimes things don't work and it's not my fault. It's just the game. I want Juri to be able to reap the benefits of Street Fighter 4 like everyone else. And if you enjoyed the video, again, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And when the new season drops, make sure to go over to twitch.tv/BigNastyKail or follow the stream here over on YouTube at youtube.com/BigNastyKail. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.